So, I got a text the other day. You're the source guy, right? But I got a text the other day. And the text was from somebody within NBA circles who's a good information broker.
Okay.
And they said, KD ain't coming back at 100%. What are you hearing?
Well, that's certainly a possibility. I've just spoken with some people close to this situation, and they're trying not to, they're not panicking. They certainly think he'll be back.
Yes.
But just like Steph, Steph wasn't 100%, we don't believe, last year in the playoffs. Unlike you, I'm not writing them off.
But by the way.
But your take, certainly the Spurs could beat them. Hopefully LaMarcus Aldridge is okay, and this is not an issue.
But the Spurs have shown an ability, like the New England Patriots, to win missing a Gronk.
No question.
They're really their system elevates them.
So would you think they'll win the West? Let's say LaMarcus Aldridge doesn't even come back.
Still win the West.
Really?
Well, New England won the Super Bowl without Gronk. I think when you create Alabama has won national titles, 4 of them, without great quarterback play. The 3 great systems in American sports right now are the Patriots, Alabama football, and the San Antonio Spurs. And when you have a great system, it can win despite missing key components.
Look, I'm all with you. They're 5-1 this year without Kawhi.
Okay,
they're 12-4 the last 2 years without Kawhi.
Okay, and by the way, the Patriots got hot without Gronk.
Yep.
That's just the way it worked. The Dodgers
That's amazing.
It's one of the most amazing things in American sports. Alabama's dominating college football, and they're below average at quarterback.
Yep.
Their quarterback last year couldn't throw the ball down the field.
No,
they had no vertical passing game in 2017.
Great point. I'm still sticking with my Warriors. I don't know if I'm ride or die. I picked them in the preseason. I know things have changed, so I could probably get out of that pick. But I'm not going to write them off. I just think they've got too much talent. And I think Steph and Clay, particularly Steph, is too good of a shooter to miss the shots he's missing. He's missing open shots, not just,
Let's segue to Steph Curry. So 1 year ago today, Cam Newton was a legend. Bryce Harper was hitting 340, and Steph was unanimous MVP. Guess who's been great for 14 years without a hiccup? LeBron James.
Yes.
Steph Curry now has had an 0 for 11 game, an 0 for 10, and an 0 for 8 3-point game. Kevin Durant leaves, and everybody focuses on Steph. So I want you to think about this. Over the last year, here is the reality with Steph Curry. Was completely unveiled in the finals, then lobbied to have a superstar come and play with him.
Lobbied's probably a little strong.
So
he did go to the meeting.
Okay. I'll use lobbied, you use go to meeting. So,
well, they knew Kevin wanted to go there.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay. So these 4 things have happened, Chris Broussard. Bad finals, lobbied to get another superstar, immediately became the second best player on the team, and then when said superstar gets hurt, cannot carry the team. Okay, if I say this, Steph Curry is a really, really good basketball player. We have massively overvalued him as a franchise star.
I think, look, your point is great, valid. I think we want to compare the situation to LeBron, who, as you said, has been great for 14 years.
No hiccups.
And gets so much criticism, okay? The reason is this, rightly or wrongly, it's because LeBron James is in the conversation for the GOAT.
Yeah.
That's it. Like when LeBron went to Miami, even though, and I've compared Durant going to Golden State as similar to LeBron in principle.
Yeah.
But Durant went to a much better team. That's undebatable. Okay. Yeah. So if, in that case, it would be worse if you want to say one of them was worse. But he didn't get as much criticism as LeBron, even though he got criticism. Why? Because nobody's ever going to put Kevin Durant, as great as he is, in the same sense as Michael Jordan.
And we love Michael. So somebody now is threatening Michael, and,
yes.
and a lot of people don't like it.
And I also think it's not just people not liking it. I think it's we hold him to a higher standard because he could be the greatest. It was somewhat similar, somewhat. It was a much different time, not as much technology, so he didn't catch it as much as LeBron. But when Jordan was first in the league and dominating individually, but couldn't get to the finals. What people looked at him as, well, he's not Magic, he's not Bird. Magic wins,
I remember.
People were
it.
killing Michael. So I think he was in a great person that come before him and set this high bar, so we judge Jordan by that. LeBron suffers for the same thing, rightly or wrongly, but that's why he's held to that higher standard. As far as Steph, here, I think you'll find this interesting. You know who I compare Steph to?
Who?
Better, but I compare him to him. Steve Nash.
Oh, we'd had this discussion this morning.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I love Steve Nash. He works out at my gym, by the way. He's still in tremendous shape. So
he should get in the Big Three, Ice Cube's Big Three league.
Listen, he's a great guy, but it's interesting. I look at Steph Curry today, and I watch the finals, and I watch his injury, and I watch him lobbying for KD, and I watch him now as KD gets hurt, ineffective. And I say to myself, if you asked every GM in the league, now think about this, Chris. We have the most wide open MVP race we've had in my life.
Yep.
In the top 6, he wouldn't get a vote.
No.
I would put John Wall ahead of him. I'd put Isaiah Thomas ahead of him. I'd put Westbrook, Kawhi.
He's not even in the discussion.
He's not even in the discussion. He's fallen off a cliff. Is he a franchise guy?
I think he's a franchise player. Look, I give Steph some slack. During the first few months of the season when Durant was there, I did feel like he was capable of playing, if not exactly like he did last year, then close, relatively close. He's still that caliber of player. But bringing in a superstar, that's much harder of an adjustment than bringing in a role player because everything changes. If you brought LeBron to the Warriors, everything would have to change.
Everything.
He's great, but he becomes the system, LeBron. And so with Durant, not quite as big, but similar, so everything adjusted, and I thought that's why Steph was not putting up the same numbers. Now, he has not, for some reason, it's thrown him off of his game and his shooting touch.
Oh, his shooting.
Because it's not just, he's missing open shots.
How about we do this? Let's just say the word great players. Could you make an argument that great players come in 3 forms? Great player, Ray Allen. Then great player who can MVP level.
Okay.
And then legend. And we've had about 9 legends in the history of basketball. And that we moved Curry into legend way too quickly. That we moved him a slot above what he... We had him in the Magic Michael LeBron thing last year for about 12 months. Yeah. And he's not that.
No, I do agree with that. Look, last year what I was saying was that if he kept this up, he could become the best small player of all time.
Okay.
And I think Isaiah Thomas is the best small player of all time.
I agree.
And I thought that was fair with Steph. Now, some people who I greatly respect were saying he could be top 3 ever.
Now
he could be better than Jordan.
No,
Remember, you heard people putting him in the same class as Jordan.
Okay, I know. That's why I'm talking about this.
That was way.
We went. Okay, and here's the other thing. Last week I was pretty tough on Dirk Nowitzki. My theory on this has always been, with very few exceptions, to be an all-time legend, you have to have a physical component to your game. Steph is 100% finesse. Dirk is 98% finesse. That the difference between Duncan and Dirk is the physical component. The difference between Bird and Dirk is that my knock on Steph is he is all finesse. You can push him around. So Isaiah Thomas was a tough guy.
You would say he was very tough.
No, John Stockton was a tough dude.
Yep.
Okay.
But this is the thing. If Steph, and look, again, if they had not gotten Kevin Durant, unless the Cavaliers stole their mojo in those when they beat them 3 straight, then I think Steph would be in the MVP conversation again this year. I mean, people probably wouldn't give it to him 3 times in a row, but I think he'd be having a great year, a much better year. I think that, not chemistry-wise, but just now you're not the best player. Maybe he thought that he was better than Kevin Durant. Maybe he thought when we recruit Durant, okay, he's a great player. This is going to be awesome, but I'm still the man. I'm still going to be the best player. You get in training camp. You start playing, you see, I think that happened with Wade.
Oh, I think it absolutely happened with Dwayne Wade. It took about 4 blocks, and he went, okay, I'm not the man.
Exactly. You realize it, and so that can throw you off a little bit. Maybe that's what's happening. But I'm with you with Steph. I think, we put him on a higher level than he was, but he's still, a tremendous player.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying he can't play. This is not, but I'm saying we moved him into a category.
Yeah.
We got him into the Rolls Royce, and he was still a BMW. We moved him into the Rolls Royce category.
You know who this will, if there's a silver lining to this, who this is really going to help is Kevin Durant. Assuming that, if not this year, in the next few years, they win titles.
Yeah.
Because look at how the narrative's changed. From Durant was a punk. He went to a 73-win team. Those rings aren't going to mean anything. They don't even need him. To now, all of a sudden, they can't win without him. They can't even have a winning record without him.
Good point.
So if he comes back this year and they win it,
It makes
it's going to
Durant
make him look
great.
great. If they don't win it and he comes back next year and they win it, he looks superb.